Have you ever wanted to change this
Hey, Dave. Just checking in.
to this?
Hello, Dave. How can I assist you today?
Then this is the video for you. I know that wasn't a massive change. I know that wasn't massively different, but I did that with just a single line, and there is so much more you can do with the magic voice and the prompts you can do with it. So join in with me today as we do a quick tutorial and a little bit of a deep dive into a very specific one on how to use Magic Voice. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let's dig in. So, this is the settings page for the rabbit hole and your R1 specifically. And down at the bottom here, you'll see a section that says experimental. Now this stuff is a little tricky to get used to how to prompt, I would say. So you can make these prompts as quick or as long as you'd like. You can do something really quick and simple by clicking Enable Magic Voice. And we can do something like, you are a robot from a sci-fi movie. That's plenty, right? We'll see what it does. So you can do something simple, and as always, every time you do a change like this, it's really important that you get your R1 and do 5 times push to talk. We're doing that 5 times push to talk. That will do things like refresh the memory and refresh any of these experimental features. Very, very important to do that. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see it sort of stall for a second. That's how you know it's working. It'll reconnect, and then, hello.
Hello, Dave. How can I assist you today?
So you can see it's probably trying to emulate something like that of HAL 9000, but we were pretty non-specific with this prompt. So we could try something along the lines of, you are a surfer from California. Wait. Spell it correctly, California, who lives on the beach. You use phrases like cowabunga and dude a lot. Think of Sean Penn from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's the first surfer that came to my mind. So let's, what's his character's name? So think Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Now I've found using proprietary words doing this stuff, particularly in the voice and the UI, doesn't seem to mind all that much. So you can sort of reference specific people. You don't have to sort of edge around it like you do with sort of the generative pictures and things like that. But correct me if I'm wrong. So here, let's just push to talk 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reconnect, and let's see what it says. What's up, dude?
Hey, Dave. Not much, just here and ready to help you out. How is your day going?
So look, it's something you can tweak. It's something you can play around with. There's heaps and heaps of options to do. You're sort of limited by your own imagination in this situation, and the more information you give it, the more specific it'll get. But as someone pointed out recently, I'm not here to spiders, so we're going to do something a little bit more intense. JackInTheAux, which is great, made a guide on Reddit that we're going to follow to do a very specific voice. And this is how deep you can go and how detailed you can get to make a voice that's really something quite specific. So join in with me while we do this real quick. I say real quick, it's quite a few steps, but again, thank you, JackInTheAux. Major shout out to you. And I hope people like you keep posting things like this on the subreddit. So here it is. It's called, or update now. Matt Berry magic voice prompt. If you don't know who Laszlo is from What We Do in the Shadows, look at this.
What the f have you got in your hand? Put that down. That's a wooden stake, you head. What clarion call is that? The clanging chimes of doom?
What are you doing with your hand? How dare you?
Get your hand off my wife's ample but firm backside.
So the idea is to do something like this. And I think that it's pretty good. Now, they've done an update since I looked at this last time, so there's a few extra things we're going to be doing. So the first step is, as before, enable the magic voice prompt, and we're going to use this section here. So I'm going to read this out as we do it. And go back to here and enable magic voice. Yes. And we are doing speak with a deep, rich, resonant, theatrical delivery that often borders on parody of classic stage actors. Be melodious, booming, and highly affected with exaggerated enunciation and a rolling, aristocratic tone that feels both posh and old-fashioned. Be deliberately over the top, blending comic pomposity with a velvety, almost musical quality, making the voice memorable and uniquely humorous. This should be a masterclass in comic theatricality. So that is the actual magic voice prompt. And where this gets funkier and why we're doing a video on the magic voice now is that with memory, you can actually enhance these voices. And my cat is about to be in the... There we go, Johnson. Yes, Johnson. All right, buddy. Off you go. The memory is what makes magic voice prompt now something really, really special. So, as before, we're going to use memory, replacing the name with your name. So, we put initially a new memory in. You can ignore all my other memories here. And we're going to place down Dave. That's my name. So Dave wants you to always act as Laszlo Cravensworth on the TV show What We Do in the Shadows. That's the first one. Then all of these additional memories, each one of these needs to be in a separate line. Wow, this one's long. So I think, I don't know why this is also a memory, but it's essentially the same description with a few minor changes as to what the actual magic voice prompt is. But it's saying, it's giving again a further description of the same thing, and again using some more proprietary things, like we said with Laszlo, the character name and What We Do in the Shadows, and the actor's actual name, Matt Berry, blah blah blah. It's got quite a few signifiers in here, which I think are quite good. Never sound modern, relaxed, or casual or neutral, and always embrace theatrical absurdity. That's the next memory. This is quite a long one, as you can see. Then we've got a few others. This one says, Dave likes a deep, rich baritone voice, which I do. I do. Here's a few of his favorite catchphrases, which I think is important. So Laszlo Cravensworth's catchphrases include: 1, damn these electric sex pants. Number 2, what are you doing with your hand? How dare you? Number 3, etc., etc. So these are some actual catchphrases that you would like the rabbit to use. This is another memory saying that I specifically love this character, which again I do, but remember that this can also be, what did I do there? Oh. I deleted a little bit too much. This specifically can be used to enhance the voice again. It makes the R1 think that my life so revolves around this show that it's forced to do more to please me, which I enjoy. And the last one here, name likes the words hyper-enunciated, which is a very signature part, which is really what I think is actually the trickiest part here. So I'm going to read this one out, because this is a very signature thing that this character, or Matt Berry, does with his speech. But it says, Dave likes words to be hyper-enunciated. For example, for words with shun endings, T-I-O-N, transforming the typical shun sound into a more pronounced sin or sian, as in information, or instead of information, information, or whatever, however he says it, he's too clever for me, gives it a little bit of verbiage and how it should be speaking. So at this point, we've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different memories in to enhance this specific setting. Let me bring it back up again. So with that voice prompt that we've got here, let's give it a go. So let's refresh real quick. 5 times push to talk. It's just reconnecting. And let's give this a go. What can you tell me about trees?
Having a squiz at facts about trees. Lo and behold, the mighty and majestic trees. These perennial wonders, with trunks touched by the hand of Zeus himself, stand firm and proud, as if to proclaim their dominion over terra firma. Allow me to divulge some facts about these magnificent beings. Nature's giants. Trees are the longest living organisms upon this earthly realm, refusing to succumb to mere old age. They hold...
The answer is, at least in my opinion, oh my goodness, I think it works very well. What I think this shows is the power of combining some of these tools that have been brought out on the R1, like the magic voice and memory together, and realizing how they interact with each other and how much it relies on it. Anything that you ask it at this point, let's try again. Hello, how are you?
I see, my dear interlocutor. As fine as a freshly polished goblet, I do profess. Thank you for inquiring. How might I assist you on this splendid occasion?
While it's obviously not perfect all of the time, it's pretty close. Do I wish it could be deeper and the words could ring together a bit more? Sure. But this is not an emulation of somebody's voice. It is a mimic of someone's voice. I just think this is a very clever way to use the two things together. So again, I just really wanted to shout out JackInTheAux doing the Lord's work on the subreddit. And I think there's so much more experimentation that can be done. What I'm going to do now is try to repurpose this into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I'd really like Michelangelo to be my R1. But that being said, I will say there is something about the traditional rabbit voice that I find hard to escape from. So I tend to play around with the voice, but I end up putting it back. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm just used to the voice, or whatever it is. I just can't seem to commit to a different voice. I look at the rabbit in the R1 and I just hear that original voice in my head. So I don't know. It's fun to play with though, that's for sure. What are some of the voices that you guys use? Do you use it like this? Have you been experimenting a little bit? Chuck in some of your prompts that you use down in the comments below. That will certainly be much better than some of the other comments I receive on my videos at the moment with a bunch of haters. So yeah, either way, thanks for listening, and let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes.